So it seems, Gavin, Seim here, some of our signs keep disappearing in Moses Lake, but not the other signs, not other people's signs. So we're going to go check it out, see what's going on. Hi there. Yeah. Some questions about campaign signs. I talked to somebody earlier, and they said that they were taking down some of our campaign signs for the Gavin Seim campaign.
Oh, okay, so you just need an agreement for it.
No, I don't need an agreement for them. I need to know why they're taking our signs down and nobody else's, because it's a concern to me. Because everybody else's signs still seem to be up. It seems like they're just taking ours down.
Well, everybody else that has theirs up filled one of these out.
Interesting. Can you show me copies of those forms?
Well, go ahead and put those down for me,
No,
please.
don't touch the cameras, please. No, we're going to keep the cameras rolling just for all of our protection.
Well, you don't have my permission.
Yeah, but you're a public servant. Let's not get into this. I'm going to record.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not going to argue with you either. We are going to record this.
I am going to give you this.
Okay. Is the city manager here? Why don't we just go that
Sure.
route? Sure. Why not just talk to the city manager? Maybe that'd be more comfortable for you.
I'm him. What can I do for you?
What's your name?
Joe Gavinsky.
Joe? Gavin Seim.
You can put that away.
No, that's okay. I'm going to leave that running. What? Can I just come back there?
No.
I don't see no admittance sign. Okay, can you tell me why you guys are taking our signs down?
Because you haven't signed an agreement with us.
Okay, what's with it? I was never notified of an agreement. Suddenly this just happened. I don't understand what's going on.
You can put that away.
No, I'm not going to put it away. Okay, well you can help me then. So that was Joe Davinsky, guys. I guess he doesn't want to talk about it on camera, which is a bit of a concern. But he's gone in and closed the shades to his office. I don't know why it's such a disruption to just talk about things on the record, because I'm perfectly willing to be on the record here. Sophia. Ma'am? Hello? This is unbelievable. So you guys, it seems that you're actually targeting a specific candidate's campaign signs, because I just drove by these areas and you guys are specifically taking down my signs and no one else's, which is a pretty severe concern. Okay guys, so this is City of Moses Lake Administration. I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to have a conversation about the fact that our signs are being targeted. They're not willing to answer any questions. They're simply taking down our signs, which is of course contrary to the law. And they're just flat out ignoring me. So I guess I will just stay here until we get this addressed. Let's grab the papers. So here, let me give you one of my brochures. That's my information. She just threw it in the garbage. Okay. I'm really willing to have a reasonable conversation about this. I just want it on the record so that everything is transparent.
Turn that off.
No.
Then I have nothing else to say.
You do? Do you work for the people, Miss Guerrero, Mrs. Guerrero? Do you work for the people? Here's the thing. You guys can't require a permit for putting up signs, and that seems to be what we have here. You're wanting me to sign a form, and I see no evidence that anybody else has signed this form. It seems like it's my signs in particular
Virginia, Sophia.
that are being targeted.
Hey, is the chief in?
So they're just totally ignoring me, guys. But what we're dealing with here is an issue of accountability. Whether it's at our local municipalities or in Congress, people have to be held accountable. We shouldn't be afraid of a camera being on a public official. You know, they should be accountable for what they say and for what they do. And this is really weird. Something's really shady with what's going on. Is all of a sudden they're taking down signs when I've never even heard about this before, and only my signs. And there doesn't seem to be any actual order in even their own laws, but from a larger level, the Supreme Court has upheld
Oh, she's gone.
that
Yeah.
public property, parks, medians, things like that, that those are forums for free speech. But there's actually even a case here in Washington, Collier versus Tacoma, where the city was taking down people's campaign signs, and Tacoma lost. So what's happening here has no basis
Is there any chance that
in
you
law.
can send me that
It has
information?
basis in
Okay.
a fiasco, it seems like.
All right.
So
Right.
the Constitution, that's the supreme law of the land. That overrides everything else. So what do you do here for the city?
I am the executive secretary.
Okay. Have I been anything but polite to you? Can you just answer my questions so we can clarify? Why did you guys take my signs down? And who has my signs? Where can I get them back? That would be a good start. I don't think that's an unreasonable question. Ma'am? You know, what happened is literally overnight, all of a sudden they just tore down all our signs. We heard about it because somebody actually saw a city employee, they said, taking down one of our signs, and then I drove through town and there's signs gone everywhere, even where individuals, the supporters had them up. And all the areas of public property, they seem to have taken the signs down for Gavin Seim. Okay, I need some service, ma'am. If you can't handle it, let's call someone who can. Okay, I'll just go look around for somebody else, I guess, that can help me.
You will not walk back there.
There's no prohibition signs to going back there, is there?
You're not allowed to go back there. I'll have you escorted.
Why am I not allowed to go back there?
Information right here.
What's that?
There's your information right there.
Yeah, this is a permit, it appears, for putting out signs, but that's not consistent with, I have a copy of your laws here, and it never says it requires a permit to put signs out. In fact, I have Moses Lake Municipal Code 1858, and then I have sign placement standards from you guys too, and a permit is not a requirement for placing signs, political signs on public property. So I'm not sure why you're asking me to sign a permit. It doesn't really make any sense, you know what I mean? I guess I'll go see who's back here then.
You are not allowed to walk back there with the camera. And I asked you to put that down.
Is this area off limits to the public? I don't see any signs prohibiting that.
We have an individual who is not, who is a nuisance.
I'm a nuisance now. Those pesky constitutional things, law, justice, such a nuisance.
Yeah, the Civic Center. It looks, yes, it looks like we have somebody coming up the stairs right now. Thank you. Bye.
So here's my concern constitutionally with this, is there seems to be an issue.
This gentleman will not turn off his recording device. I have tried to explain to him what our procedure is. I gave him the form, and he refuses to look at it. He is badgering me. He is still recording me after I've asked him to turn it off. Joe came out and asked him to turn it off. He refused.
I'm just trying to figure out why they're removing our signs from public property.
Were you explained, Gavin, the reason why, or the proper procedure for doing signs in the city of Moses Lake?
We never had a problem before. Just yesterday, Mr. Myers,
I
they
didn't
started
ask you
taking
that,
them
Gavin.
down.
I
What I'm
asked
asking
do
you,
you know the procedure?
do you know that public property we're allowed to put signs up in? That that's a
Do you
First Amendment
know-
right that's been
do you know the
upheld
procedure, Gavin?
by the Supreme Court?
You're changing the subject. I need to know, do you know the
Yeah.
procedure for the city of Moses Lake?
Yes. The procedure is that I take stakes and I put them in the ground and I put a sign up, and then I have a sign up in Moses Lake.
No, that's not. And you know different.
No,
You
honestly, I've looked
No.
over your paperwork. I really have. I read it over this morning. I have the sign placement standards. I don't see any requirement of a permit even in your own laws, but it's certainly not a requirement by laws of the Constitution. Let me give you this, and I'm honestly willing to talk about this. Here's a copy of Collier versus Tacoma. It went to the Washington State Supreme Court, where a city was taking down signs on public property, and it's pretty clear in there. There's a lot of good information in there.
Where was that at?
That was in Tacoma.
That was in Tacoma.
Yeah, but it went to
What
the
happened
Washington.
to Moses Lake?
No. This went to the Washington State Supreme Court.
Okay.
You swore an oath to the Constitution, right?
Yeah, and I swore an oath to the city of
Right, but the Constitution comes before any municipal codes. You guys have to abide within the Constitution, and the codes within the city have to abide within both the federal Constitution and the Washington State Constitution. So right to free speech in public forums like parks, medians, things like that, putting political signs out is clearly been upheld as a First Amendment right by the Supreme Court and also by Washington State courts. So what I don't understand is, I mean, we didn't have a problem. I've actually gone out of my way throughout the whole campaign. We've tried to make the signs so they were out of the way of people mowing. I mean, I honestly tried to make it as easy as possible. I didn't want them to be an impingement to you guys. But I did want them out there, of course. And nobody ever mentioned any document. All of a sudden, yesterday, you guys just went around and started taking all of our signs down, it appears. Do you know who has our signs?
I have no clue.
Okay.
We didn't do it, the police department didn't.
Right. And then I come in here and try to figure out what's going on. They sit here and refuse to talk to me.
That's because you got them on camera.
Well, of course I have them on
They're
camera.
not going to talk to you on camera, Gavin. I'm sorry.
Well, I would talk to somebody on camera when I'm in Congress. I will certainly talk to somebody on camera, but because if you can't speak on the record...
Only those things that are in your best interest.
No, not at all. That's
Oh,
why...
yes.
No, if you can't say something on camera when you're serving the public, then you don't deserve to be serving the public. So even if you guys are in violation of the law, which it seems that you are, but even if you're in violation, if we can just sit down and I can look in Moses Lake codes, because we can't seem to find anywhere where this permit is even upheld in Moses Lake codes. And can you show me copies of the forms where the other candidates who signed are not being left down where they've signed this form? Because as far as I can tell, I mean, I've seen no evidence that any candidate has signed this form.
Kevin, the issue is that you're criminally trespassing. They've asked you to leave. Please leave.
Do you know what criminally trespassing is?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can you explain it to me?
You also know what it is, Gavin.
I want your definition.
No, you shouldn't be in the Senate, Gavin.
I'm not running for Senate, I'm running for
Unfortunately,
Congress.
That's the truth. If you can't figure out what really peaceful assembly is and all those other
I'm being
things,
very peaceful. I mean,
you
I'm
shouldn't
kind
be
of
there.
calm considering that you guys have stolen my signs, it appears.
No, we have not stolen them. We've taken them down because you didn't follow the process.
Okay, well, let's get them back. Let's get them brought back to this location so I can take them with me. Why don't you call whoever has them and get them back here to start with? That would be a start.
In a reasonable amount of time. It won't be right now.
But can we look at your own laws? I mean, honestly, let's start with Moses Lake Code. I don't see this form that they want me to sign. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. We have a form and that has legal issues with it, but it's this sign placement agreement that you want me to sign, okay? Where in the law does it say that we have to have this form, this permit, to put signs on public property? Is that in Moses Lake law anywhere?
Gavin,
I asked you a question. Answer the question, please. Okay, then get me someone who can.
I'm telling you, you're going to leave.
So I come to City Hall and I
No
can't.
one's going to answer that question for you today.
You're not going to answer if the question, if it's a
You
law?
make an appointment.
I don't need an
have those
appointment to come into the City Hall.
Other people are busy.
Myers, he's not busy.
Other
Joe
people are
Gavinsky came out, he said turn off the camera, and when I wouldn't, because obviously it just keeps us all accountable, he ran back into his office, shut the door, which was open, and then
He's
closed
got
the
other things
shade.
going on. Gavin.
Other than working for the people, he's got other things going
I don't know
on.
what he's got going on. I'm not.
Does he know, do you have any idea what I have going on and how busy I am? We're trying to run a congressional campaign,
Or
and you guys,
here.
I know, because you guys are taking
And
down
if
our
you
signs
would-
throughout a whole
and
city.
if you're really that busy and would take the time to make an appointment properly and or ask those questions in the right venue, you know what? You would have those questions answered very quickly and you wouldn't be wasting your time. Right now, you're wasting my time and your time.
How is
because
coming
you
to the City
refuse
Hall
do it
to
in the
politely
proper
ask a
fashion.
question, how's that in the wrong venue and not in the proper fashion? I brought the paperwork and the laws and wanted to sit down and go over them with the officials, and I just wanted it on camera so that we're all accountable.
Okay.
Okay? Do you realize what's happening to our country? Does this concern you at all? I don't know if you have kids or grandkids or anything like that. I have 3 kids. And this attitude of government that you guys are the masters of the people.
Us guys.
Police officers, city officials.
And you.
No, no, no.
And you.
And me what?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
You're pushing all these issues, Gavin.
Of course I'm pushing the
causing
issues.
all these issues.
Do you know that our country...
problems than any
No,
of
no, no.
us
Do you
are.
know how many people have died in this country to uphold liberty? It is our duty as citizenry to push the issues, to uphold the law, to be the sentinels of liberty and justice.
I do, and I have family members who've been there, so...
That's great. That's great. Why don't we get Joe Gavinsky out here?
Because Joe doesn't have time
I'll tell you
to deal
what,
with you right now.
if you guys can sit down and at least cover the law of Moses Lake.
Go through the paperwork.
I did go through the paperwork. There's no law in there that I can find that requires that I fill out a form that even mentions this sign placement
Did
agreement.
you look through the city ordinance?
Yeah, I have it right here. I can't find an ordinance for this. As far as I can tell, there's no ordinance for this. I have sign placement standards.
Okay, then you need to do
Okay.
some more research.
No, you guys need to tell me the law. I'm not obligated to do your homework for you. If you're down there taking down my signs,
I'm not
do you
obligated
realize
to
what a
do more
severe...
homework.
No. Do you guys realize what a severe road you're treading down by targeting one specific candidate in a political election and removing his signs while everybody
I'm not
else
targeting
is...
anybody.
You are targeting me. I'm the only signs that you've pulled down. Are you a civil servant?
I am, but I deal with criminal matters.
So why are you here? Because this isn't a criminal matter.
Yeah, because they've asked you to leave and you're not leaving.
But they haven't answered my question. It's their job to serve.
And they're not going to.
Okay. I don't know how we resolve this. I just want to know how we
Make an appointment.
follow the law. I don't
Do
need an
your
appointment.
research.
He's right in there. The city
Figure
manager,
out-
Joe Gavinsky, is right in
figure
there.
out that you need to fill out the forms. Once you sign the form,
You can't-
and put
you
your
guys-
signs up
okay,
where they belong,
let's be clear.
You'll be fine.
You guys,
Simple. Very simple.
you cannot require a permit. Is that mine or yours? That's yours. You cannot require a permit to practice free speech. That's lawlessness. That's criminal. It's not the people that are the criminals if you're requiring a permit for free speech. It's the city. Do you understand that? This is ridiculous. Do you realize how ludicrous this is?
It is.
It is. I mean, you should be embarrassed.
I should be gone because...
I know you
you're-
never should have showed up because all they had to do, it's now causing problems to ask questions, sir. Come on. Do you really believe that this is right? I mean, honestly,
No, I don't. I do not believe what you're doing is right.
to ask a
And
question.
The way you do it.
The way I do it, I've been really calm and polite this whole time.
I don't believe the way you do it.
Well, okay, what about how I do it is wrong?
Gavin, this is not the venue or the time to get into that.
This looks like a great venue to me.
You need to leave.
So,
Really, you're wasting my time.
no, you're actually wasting my time. Let's get that
Okay.
clear. You're the servant, the people are the masters. So let's separate those
You're the
things.
master.
The people, we the people.
You're the master.
No, I didn't
That's
say
what you
I said the people. So anybody that you guys serve, you need to look at yourself as servants of them, not as exerting your authority over them. And you need to understand that. Folks,
Authority, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, Gavin.
what you're supposed to, okay, before I leave, and I'm not going to stay here all day, I just want to recap. You guys took down my signs, or the city did. I'm not saying you did, okay?
Oh, at least we got that correct.
Okay. I went through your laws. I can't find anything that says I have to have a permit to do this. In fact, it says the opposite. It says there's no permit required in your own laws, from what I can tell. And I forget, I think that's in the signs one right here. And then there's this permit here, and they're saying I have to fill that out, but that permit is saying I have to have permission to put signs on public property. Here's my concern, and this is a legal concern. If I sign this permit, basically any signs with my name on them, I'm legally accountable for. What if I don't put up the signs? How does that work? Because lots of people put up signs. That's pretty normal in the campaign. I'm not the only ones putting up signs for my campaign. You understand what I'm saying?
It's your campaign though, Gavin.
No, but I can't be responsible for what somebody else does with a sign that I've given them.
So when people do things that are outside of your control, that are for your organization, but that they're criminal.
It's not for my, no.
You're not.
If I give somebody a sign, I can't control what they do with it. You're saying you want me to be legally responsible based on this document for it. It seems like for any signs that bear my name. And if somebody takes a sign from a campaign event, how am I supposed to be responsible for what they do with it?
I've got a list in front of me that was given to me by, let's see here, by one of the city personnel here.
Who?
See, Richard Wright has signed one, David Dingus has signed one, Melissa McKnight has signed one, Lori Grammer has signed one, Janae Holmquist has signed one, even Janae has signed one.
Do you realize what a huge logistical issue this is?
Newhouse has signed one. Bob Byrne has signed one. Tom Dent has
Mm-hmm.
signed one. Michelle Janderland has signed one.
Yeah,
But Gavin Sign refuses to sign.
And
one.
I'm sorry
Interesting,
that
Gavin.
all the other
Really
candidates aren't willing to hold you guys
Really
accountable to the
interesting,
Constitution.
Gavin.
What's really interesting, Myers, is that you guys are not upholding the First Amendment of the Constitution. And that's not interesting, it's scary. Because you cannot require a permit for free speech, and political signs clearly are. I've gone out of my way to keep my signs reasonable and unobtrusive for you guys. What more can I do? If I sign this document, I'm basically saying you guys have the right to violate the First Amendment.
This was one of the signs that Claire Harden had.
Okay.
Who's Claire Harden?
He's one of our code enforcement officers.
Okay, so where's the rest of them?
This is the only one that I saw.
Well, we know a bunch of them just disappeared last night, including the large ones, which are a little expensive.
This is the
So,
only one that I saw.
okay, so where can I see about getting the other ones?
I'll talk to Claire.
Okay. So let me know how we can get those back. Why is it broken? Did you guys kick it or something?
I got too many in my office. So I don't know. I didn't pull it.
Okay. I mean, it looks pretty severely damaged.
Helping you out.
Okay, thank you. Here's the thing. I mean, I'm not going to try and keep you here all day. They're completely uncooperative. These guys in this office are failing to serve the people, and that's been established. What I want you to think about from the perspective of our posterity, of our children and grandchildren, if we go down this road of let's make laws that violate these rights because we're the city, because we're the police, because we're the county, if we go down that road, liberty's lost. If we go down the road of we can tread on people's rights, on the law that the people placed on government to uphold their rights, and if we go down the road of allowing cities and municipalities and the federal government and the state government to violate that, liberty's lost. We're slaves now to government if we allow that to happen. We're not going to be slaves to government. The government is the servants and the people are the masters. So here's what I'm saying. We're going to have signs out there. You guys do not take down our signs anymore. If you have a problem with the way we've placed the signs, give us a call. You guys didn't even call me and say there's a problem. I never even heard about this.
If you fail to follow the city ordinance.
What? Okay, whoa. What city ordinance? What city
If you
ordinance?
fail to sign the document.
Is there a city ordinance? Because I would like to know the ordinance.
If you fail to sign the document, Gavin, we are going to remove your signs.
What?
Everybody
You just
else
mentioned a
has
city
complied.
ordinance.
Everybody else has
Okay, but what
complied.
city ordinance can I look up?
Everybody else has
What
complied.
city ordinance, Mr. Myers?
Okay.
Honestly, just tell me the city ordinance. Are you saying there's not a city ordinance?
I don't know.
A law that violates the Constitution is not a law.
I didn't make that determination.
You
The Supreme Court makes those
No.
determinations.
You're
not
one of
me.
the people of this country. You're a sentinel of liberty. Yes.
Supreme Court makes those.
Supreme Court is there to uphold the Constitution, not to define
or
it.
to strike them down when they are illegal, and we don't know that till they go through, Gavin.
That's not true.
Unfortunately,
You swore an oath to this and you don't know it? Is that what you're saying?
Gavin, I'm not sure you understand it either.
Trust me, I understand it. I've done a great deal of research on it. I really
I do not.
And I am happy to sit down.
If you did, all of these other candidates who
Right.
signed the agreement as well would have gone through and gone, hey, I don't have to go do that either.
Maybe the
They
other
do.
candidates aren't as
They
fiery
do
as I am.
Because they're willing to work with the people. Not you, who wants to work against
What I'm doing,
government.
no. I'm
Not
working.
against- not-
I'm working
not-
for the
Oh,
people.
you are not.
For the people
Oh,
to
you
protect
are
their
not.
rights. Yes, I am.
You are working against the government. With
If the government-
entitlement of for the people.
If the
And you
government
are
is
not.
violating the law,
You
it
are
is our
not.
duty to work against that.
That's something we'll agree to disagree upon. There's your sign in your paperwork. Thank you for the day. Goodbye.
Oh, that can be frustrating. Unbelievable. There's so little accountability. At least they didn't try and beat me up. I probably shouldn't have told the officer he was out of his league. I get fired up and it's amazing the things that these people say. Guys, I got my broken sign here. The Constitution is the law. It overrides local municipalities if they violate it. It's the duty of our officers, of our sheriffs, and ultimately it's the duty of we the people to make sure that's upheld. That's our liberty, that's our freedom right there. It's our job to protect that. If we don't start standing up for our liberty, we're going to lose it. And that's what's happening right now. We're losing our liberty. I don't know whether the other candidates signed this stuff or not. And maybe they did, but if they did, that's a shame to me. Because we need to represent for our liberty. I could sign the paper. I get that. And I thought about that. And I'll keep thinking about that. But I looked at the law. I don't see any law to uphold it even locally. It doesn't seem in compliance with the state constitution. It's certainly not in compliance with the First Amendment. What I see here, guys, is lawlessness. I see lawlessness within the city of Moses Lake. We have lawlessness within Congress. We're surrounded by lawlessness. To their credit, they didn't freak out at me in there. You know, at least they remained calm, and I think I remained calm too. But it's still shameful what happened in there. They refused to even address the law on the most basic level. They refused to give me any information. They refused to answer questions. It had nothing to do with them being busy. It had to do with the fact that they refused to be accountable. We got to start holding our government accountable. You know, where's the representatives, the elected representatives in Moses Lake? Why aren't they coming out and taking a stand against lawlessness? That's their job. City councilmen, sheriffs of our counties. They're supposed to uphold our liberty. Anyways, my name's Gavin Seim. You can find me at callmegav.com. Let's start standing up for this stuff. Take care.